Hi everyone, I'm Joanne Bailey and I work for the town of Bristol as the Land Use and Assessing Manager. I was raised here in town and graduated from Newfound Memorial High School. My husband and I are both homeowners and taxpayers in Bristol, so as someone who works directly with property data, I want to hopefully demystify the townwide property revaluation that is currently underway by explaining what it is, why it happens, and what it means to you. Here's what we'll cover in the next few minutes. What is a revaluation? Assessed value versus market value, what they mean and why they matter, how revaluation impacts your property tax, and a simple example, hopefully to bring it all together. So, what is a revaluation? Let's focus on the key word here, value. A property revaluation is the process of updating the assessed values of your property. At any given time, your property has two main values. Assessed value. This is the value set by the assessor for tax purposes. It appears on your property tax card, which is public record. And market value. This is the value your home could sell for on the open real estate market. Okay, so let's talk assessed value. Your assessed value is used to calculate your property taxes. It's important to know this is a static value, meaning it only changes in a few scenarios. When you conduct property improvements that impact the value, or an event happens that may affect the overall value of your property, or during a townwide property revaluation, which by law, RSA 75:8-A, a municipality must perform a valuation every 5 years on all properties within the municipality boundaries. Now, what about market value? Market value fluctuates constantly based on the real estate market. It reflects what a willing buyer would pay for your property in today's market. To determine the market value of your property, I would suggest reaching out to a locally licensed realtor. The purpose of the revaluation, again, is to bring the assessed value of your property as close to current market value as possible. How does the revaluation affect the tax rate? Well, let's look at an example. Let's take a single-family home here in Bristol that may currently be assessed for $200,000 based on the last townwide revaluation. Many of these single-family homes are currently selling for $350,000 to $400,000. This clearly shows a disconnect between assessed value and market value. That's why every 5 years, a revaluation is necessary to bring the assessed values in line with market values. With that, all assessed values in town are updated to equal market value, and just as important, the new tax rate will be adjusted by the Department of Revenue to cover the town's budget. The town's budget does not increase merely because the value of the properties in the town have increased. Revaluation is often called a revenue neutral event, meaning the total taxes collected by the town does not change the revaluation. The tax rate adjusts after revaluation to keep the total tax revenue the same. So based on the new tax rate after revaluation, your property taxes may stay the same, potentially decrease or increase. Unfortunately, because new tax rates are not calculated, which again is a function of the Department of Revenue, at the same time the revaluation is being done, many property owners mistakenly use the old tax rate to calculate their property tax payments. We strongly advise you not to panic and wait for the new tax rate to be set. And finally, don't panic. We'll continue to keep the town's website updated with information as our assessing company moves through the revaluation process. Once completed, you'll receive a letter late summer, early fall with your updated assessed value. If after receiving this letter with your new assessed value, should you wish to speak to the assessors, certainly appointments can be scheduled. So, on behalf of the Land Use and Assessing Department for Bristol, thank you for taking, a short time to listen and watch this video. Understanding how the revaluation works certainly is a big step towards feeling more confident and informed about your property taxes. Again, thanks for watching.